Yeah, I don't believe in destiny. I just do what's best for me. Don't listen to my enemies. They're just full of drugs. I don't believe in destiny. I just do what's best for me. You gon' see success in me. You ain't seen the rest. I just wanna be the best at what I know. Better than the rest, just watch me grow. Put me to the test and watch me go. This is my quest, I'ma make it known. They call me obsessive, oh I know. Call me selective with my notes. Call me aggressive with my flow. Call me offensive even though
so we ain't gonna lie, life's tough. Try to get by, life's rough. Try to do it right, it's not enough. Even though you try, you still mess up. But I'm still gonna fight for what I love. Still gonna die for what I love. Still gonna try, I won't give up. Still gonna fight until I want. They say I'm way too obsessed and I've got nothing left. And I'm not quite there yet, but those words they don't regret. Cause I've got something left and I'm not giving in. I will not let them win. I won't stop till the end, no. I'm not quite there yet, but those words they don't regret. Cause I've got something left and I'm not giving in. I will not let them win. I won't stop till the end, no.
Kill my father. Prepare to die.
What is up, everyone? Thanks for coming and hanging out with us on this epic Saturday, the 10th of February, 2024. You guys, we made it to the end of another epic week. Thank you so much for being here. We've already got the amazing Ryan Maxwell in the chat hanging out with us over on Facebook. And of course, hail to Miss Katie from Periapsis Press, the best indie reviewer there is in the world. You are that amazing, my dear. Ryan Maxwell, we are still alive. I know, my dude. I know. We've got little Panda Aiden, Panda Cakes would say hail, but he is at work. Oh, I see. Hail from little Panda Aiden, and Panda Cakes would say hail, but he is at work right now. But I know he sends his love. Dude, thank you so much. We love you guys. You guys are amazing. So with that being said, thank you to the Dying Breed community. We have Warrior Bernard, who, as we just found out, is at work. We've got Fighters Maxwell Foster Q. We've got Soldier Boslow, Lil Panda Aiden, who was just in the chat, Unwired Mr. Rob, and then, of course, Defenders LG, Jodan, and Miss Aoife. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. I'm super pumped. I am super pumped to be here today. We've got a few updates to talk about. And then we have some motivation. I got a little bit more of the motivation, the thoughts today. because it was just it was a good week, but it was a week where I was like, you know what? I need to be challenged, and we need those challenges in our life sometimes. So I've got a few videos for us today that I'm super excited about. But yo, how are you guys doing? Tell me in the chat. How was your guys' week? What did you guys get accomplished? And what are you hoping to do for next week? What are some goals, right? And I'm going to go ahead and let's just jump right into these updates. So the first update I will say is the Dying Breed Injustice audiobook. We already have the first 3 chapters are done and in, and you guys, it sounds so good. Tom is just continuing to kill it, and I am super excited. So we have a delivery date of around March for the whole audiobook to hopefully be done. So he is just working away at that. And then, of course, jumping right into book 3, The Dying Breed Enslavement, which is coming out on Wednesday, right? Yeah, Wednesday. And I'm continually blown away that we are at this point. So, and then, as well as you guys know, The Dying Breed Thievery is also coming out this Wednesday on Valentine's Day. It's a great reminder that, yes, Wednesday is not just book release day, but it is Valentine's Day. So make sure to get your lovey one some special to celebrate them being blessed in your life. Awesome progress, and I've got mine ordered already. Dude, thank you. Thank you, my brother. I was really happy to find out when I scheduled the books that I could pre-order my author copies. And I didn't realize that right away, but I have already ordered the first batch of author copies. So they are probably going to arrive at my location about a week after the book release. And of course, the Dying Breed community, those that are in those tiers, I will be sending out those author copies, signed author copies to you guys, because you guys have really helped bring this book to life. So that is that. But yeah, the audiobook is coming along. It is sounding amazing. I have no doubt you guys are going to really love it. We're still sitting at 33 sales. So I'm hoping and praying that those 33 people will come back for book 2, because the story gets dark. But there's a great light at the end of the tunnel. And then Enslavement is just so epic. So there is that on the update on that audiobook. As far as writing updates, I kind of struggled this week, and that was some of the motivation and some of the thoughts that I had throughout this week as well, was the fact that I am so close to the end of book 3 of Slaughterhouse, my tag, right? And you guys have seen it. It's the last book cover in the video, the intro video. I am so close to the end, and I am just like, I want to get there. And yet I am so exhausted and so tired of writing in this series. So it's been a grind this week. And what's interesting is how, as I get closer to the end, I start seeing easier ways for me to kind of tie up the loose ends and just have a completion. So with that being said, if you guys remember, last week I took the week off of writing. I only got 220 words in. So at the end of this week, I am sitting at 11,930 words written, which I don't know if I have the audible thing in here. Let's see. No, I am not seeing it. What I was about to say was that it brings my grand total for this year at 120,000 words written. But the bigger thing was I now have hit over 800,000 words in my writing career. And that is why I really encourage a lot of people, track your word counts, have that tracker up with you as you're writing, because that is just such a motivating thing. And I even started writing today, this morning. I got 800 words in already, which is just such a small number compared to what I have written before. But it's one of those things of like every day when you log those word counts, to think like it's only 804 words. And it's like, that's 3 pages. That's just over 3 pages of content. And when you start to look at that and you look at the entire listing of like, no, it's not just 11,930 words. It's now 120,000 words. And you are there. You're getting there. You're growing. You're building. Every word counts, you guys, because this is now 803,000 XP, bro. XP. And why is that so important? Because, you know, in today's world as a writer, we really encourage people and say, like, you're a novice for your first million. And when I look back at when I started, all the lessons, all the skills that I continually have grown and become better in. And now it's just like, dude, this is a huge step. This is now like from the novice to the next level, which I don't even know what the next level title is. But if I had not tracked those word counts, if I had not collected this data, you would not be able to see this, right? So book 3 is almost done. Oh, and right now what was really funny is I have I'm writing the scene where someone has to have their hand cut off. So yeah, it was a little fun, jokey time. And I think sometimes I try to remind myself of like, if I'm writing through a series of events in the book and I'm like, have I had any fun recently? Have I laughed or chuckled? No, then I'm putting an inappropriate joke in, or I'm going to be putting something in because I want to have a laugh myself. Therefore, I think my readers want to have a laugh too. Right. So that's been fun. All right. Now let's get to some comments. This is a good breaking point. The ever amazing Soldier Unwired, Rob Gagnon. Dude, I honestly don't know if I know how to say your last name properly. I want to say Gagnon. But anyways, hey TJ, 11,000 words, you mad dog maniac, typing motherfucker to 100,000. Hell to the yeah. And how many pages is that? 8,000, 1 million, and you become boss tier. I don't know about that, but I did do the calculation the other night, actually. So I will do the calculation for it. It's really quick here. 803,248 divided by 251 words. That brings my grand total to 3,200 pages, roughly. That's a big number. That's a big number. That's a thick book. How do you like your books? Thick, with some substance, right? It's so encouraging. And thanks for being here, you guys. Yeah, I appreciate that. So like Ryan said, every word counts. Every writing session, no matter how short, it makes us better. 100%. Your magic words to me were, that's 100 pages, bro. It made my day. Exactly. And that's why I love this community. Like, we just jumped in and saw Ryan Maxwell typing away. And of course, who was in there with him? Nick Boslow, the ever amazing Nick Boslow, who I continue to try to shout out and say, like, people need to go read Nick's work on Royal Road. It's so good. And speaking of him, he is right here. He is Soldier Boslow up top, Nick Boslow. It's French. Think Dom Perignon. You just paused my brain, bro. I don't even know. Think French. Rob Gagnon. Unwired. That's it. Thick with at least 3 C's. That's right, baby. We like our books thick. So champagne. Yeah, it's been crazy, you guys. And that's where, you know, Rob has been our newest member of the Dying Breed. And of course, what did we do in the Patreon? As soon as he joined, it was like, hey, let's welcome this new family member. And it's been so awesome to see how many of us are, Richie Stevens. What's up, Quack Pack? How many of us in the Dying Breed are all authors, and we're all supporting one another. And it's been amazing. It's been wonderful. And that's why I love the Dying Breed community so far, is like with Rob coming on. And I was like, dude, where are you at now? Like, what's your word count? And he's like, 30,000 words. Man, it seems like it's going rough. And I'm like, dude, I remember when you were at 12,000 words. And now you're sitting at 100 pages, right? And that's what's so encouraging. That's what's so motivating, is like, We've all been there. And we've all started there, and we're all doing this together. And it's so, this is why I love showing up every Saturday and hanging out with you guys. And we're talking about this stuff. Yes, it's my updates, but in reality, it's really a lot of our updates. It's all of our updates because we're all in this together. And I like to bring in those thoughts and those motivations for each of us to enjoy. So, dude, that's awesome, man. Richie Stevens, I was really happy. So, Richie, make sure you drop that interview on YouTube so I can share it and we can blast it out. I was really blessed to get to be on Stats podcast with Richie and Joel, who I desperately love. And Richie, I just checked my Royal Road earlier today. Where's my review, bro? Anyways, side note, we got to start off the new year. I was episode 1 for season 4, I think we were at. And the whole thing was Road to Royal. The authors who are on Royal Road creating books, what were the lessons learned? You know, why choose the platform? What can you do with it? And so it's just a really great time. Richie and Joel have been amazing friends, great supporters, and I am I am sincerely grateful for them, and we love to support them as well. They've been doing great stuff, and that's where I feel like for me, I've only been streaming less than a year. They've been doing this for 4 years, and why are they doing this? Because they continue to love talking about the books that just make their lives so much better, bring so much joy into their hearts and lives, and they want to keep sharing it and keep talking about it and keep promoting it. And that's what's so cool, right? And at the end of the day, is that not what we're here for? As authors, we are here to provide entertainment. We are here to give people a story that they can escape into and enjoy. And it's all different flavors, it's all different styles, and it's all different worlds, and it's all pretty fucking cool, right? So yeah, thanks for being here, Richie. Let's see. So, whoa. Reviews should have been posted, and the episode should be up as well. I'll check when I get home from work, bro. Love you, buddy. Okay, you know what? Let's just call Richie out. Let's just call Richie out. That's what we do. Because I love him. Because if not, I'll send him a feet pic. And we'll keep sending him feet pics. Sir Richie, I don't know if you know this, but I do not see your review, sir. Oh, wait a minute. Nope. That was Boslo. That was Jojo Wa. Panda Cakes. Sir Valor Hunter. There's Ifas. And there's Meow Rio. Richie. Okay, so not to mention Ricky's work on Dino's books for narration. I need that audiobook. Dimmies, yes. So that's what's really cool, man, is, you know, Richie is now, then I shall post it tonight. You see it here first, people. Let's hold him accountable. We're going to threaten you, Richie, with feet pics. I'm just kidding. Yeah, and that's what's really cool too, is when you start to get into the industry and you're getting into this craft, and now Richie is now coming on board and becoming a voice actor, narrator for Dimmy, our good friend Dimmy's books, who also has a great YouTube channel. I love watching his videos, having his videos play like when I'm prep cooking or stuff like that. It's been really fun. So with that being said, you guys, it's been a great week. 11,000 words. Almost to 12,000. I will probably still keep writing today, just to get it in. More than likely Sunday, tomorrow, I'm going to be doing it as well, because I just really want to get ahead. And I'm super excited to be done with this book because, again, I know I've talked about it before, but sorry, I'm looking for the next video that I want to play for you guys. But to start this third series, it's going to be so much fun. I really love it. And I think you guys are going to really love it as well. Dude, where is, oh, there it is. Duh. Okay. So yeah, 12,000 words. Let's go ahead and I will play a video for you guys because this has been really fun to mess around. I'm on vacation next week, so I'll be recording all week. There you go, you guys. So Richie Stevens if you guys are a Demi fan, which hopefully you guys should be, Richie is going to be recording that book, so you guys can hopefully get it soon. Now, let's move on to the next thing to have some fun. So we have a good friend hoping to have book 1 and 2. All right, let's see. Let's get this first update, you guys. Sneak peek. Oh, nice. Star Divers. Oh, I really enjoyed the Star Divers series. Again, our good friend, Stephen Landry, amazing writer, author, storyteller. Definitely support these guys' work. Okay, so there is this amazing human being on Twitter, Twix, as he likes to call it, and YouTube, called A Drink with Crazy, or his other name, Royce. And they were doing their Iron Age Nights episode yesterday, which I tuned in for. I tuned in for it for the most part. And like 5 minutes after I clocked off to go relax and listen into the audiobook of The Dying Breed and Justice and make sure it was good to go, Royce said something and did not realize how it would be taken. And of course, Daniel P. Worley, who is in the bottom left corner, who is our editor for the Bloodbath series, says, I can only imagine what TJ Lombardi is thinking right now, or something of that nature. I was laying in bed listening to the book, and our other good friend, John A. Douglas, messaged me the clip and said, dude, I don't know if you saw this, but this just happened. So, of course, me being the little prankster that I am and the little jester that I am, had a bit of creative fun with this clip. And we posted it on Twitter. So if you guys have not seen it yet, I want you to enjoy this epicness.
And I'm going to be honest.
Oh, no, it's not showing. Hold on. Oh, there it goes. Crap.
And I'm going to be honest. I can't take 4 dudes at the same time. 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 I mean, they were shorter than me, but
You just imagine what TJ Lombardi is thinking right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say the hedge is clipping that for his soundboard.
Hell yeah, I had fun making that, you guys. That is what is so much fun about this community, that we get to network and connect with people. And when you start to have this personality that people can only imagine, yeah, that was some good times. Oh, what did I stumble into? Paul, it's our good friend, Paul Hasseltine. Dude, you missed out, man. That was hopefully you saw the video. I was dying laughing as soon as John A. Douglas sent me that little clip. And of course I had to make that video, and we posted it on Twitter. So then what I thought was even more hilarious was when Royce's wife, got on there and just said, my husband does not give himself enough credit. He is absolutely patient enough to take 4 dudes at the same time. And that I died fucking laughing. So, all right. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and get into our some motivation for this week. There's something deeply troubling with you, which is why we love you so much. Absolutely. Absolutely. You guys, life is short. We got to have some fun here. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's get started with this week's motivation. Whoopsies. There we go.
It's already February 1st. January's gone, man. Have you changed? Have you? It's already February 1st. January's gone, man. Have you changed? Have you?
All right. So many of us, we get kind of conditioned into this new year, new me. This new year, and I'm going to put goals for myself, and I'm going to do this. And a lot of people continue to set these huge, massive goals for themselves, and they start out in this sprint and they just get completely burnt out and they get exhausted and gassed, and they haven't even hit that first quarter mile. And so for what many of you guys know, when I really talk about this over and over again about building that routine that is going to sustain yourself over time. And so that's where I loved that video when I found it. I think I actually found it on February 2nd. So I knew that I was going to play it later, but that's like exactly the mentality that you sometimes want to look at people like, hey, it's February 1st. January's over. Did you actually change? Or did you just start out on this temporary sprint and thought that you would be able to carry yourself more? You know, when we start writing, we have these grand ideas and we get super excited and we start pounding away on the keyboard, and then we get to those 12,000 words and we're like, this is more work than what I thought. Oh man, I don't really want to sit down for another 30 minutes, or all I have is 30 minutes, or I don't want to wake up early and I don't want to stay up late, or whatever it is. And once you get to that point, we all know what that point is. And that's when you're really tested of how bad do you want this? Did you really change? Did you really step out and take this leap of faith? So it's February, you guys. What goals did you set for this year? And are you really pushing yourself to get these goals in? Now,
so what stops you becoming the fullest version, the person that God had in mind when he created you? It's not him. It's the things in you that whisper to you that you cannot be the things that you hope for. It's not usually prohibitions, it's inhibitions. What stops us are the lies we believe that are not true about who we are. What stops us are the wounds that we have that are unhealed because they were never exposed. We buried them. What stops us are the games that we play to protect ourselves from the reality that might grow us. What stops us is that we don't believe the very things that God speaks over us. He is the only one who has the right to name you. So what stops you becoming the fullest version, the person that God had in mind when he created you? It's not him. It's the things in you that whisper to you that you cannot be the things that you hope for. It's not usually prohibitions, it's inhibitions. What stops us are the lies we believe that are not true about who we are. What stops us are the wounds that we have that are unhealed because they were never exposed. We buried them. What stops us are the games that we play to protect ourselves from the reality that might grow us. What stops us is that we don't believe the very things that God speaks over us. He is the only one who has the right to name you.
So I really loved that video. And that's where, we just said, hey, did you make this change? And so many times we will come up with these self-defeating thoughts and these self-defeating beliefs that we can't accomplish the goal that we ourselves want to accomplish. Hail, John. It's good to see you, man. And I think that's one of the biggest things for us. That was too short. I didn't give you enough love. I'm late, but I'm here. And then, of course, Miss Katie from Pure Apps Express. Hi, John. We have these goals of like, man, I would love to tell this story. I would love, but I'm terrible at spelling. I'm terrible at my pacing. I don't know if I have the right verbiage. This. And we've allowed these negative thoughts to devour the great creativity that's been already placed within us. And so that's where I feel that we always need to be reminded of take the first step and then just focus on the next step that comes after it. You don't have to worry about running the Olympic sprint race all you have to do is continue to encourage yourself of, no matter if those 1,000 words before that I wrote were terrible, it's the fact that I still wrote these 1,000 words and I'm going to take these steps forward. Don't allow these negative thoughts or these other beliefs externally to stop you from doing what you want to do so much, especially when it comes to the content creation or the writing. The story may not be for everyone, but the story is what's inside your heart. And it's really, I feel like, about finishing the book that you wanted to write or the story you wanted to tell or whatever. And there's some of us then that get to this point where, again, so you get started on the journey, but you have to ask yourself this question.
We don't have standards. We don't know where we're at, right? So we have to set something up there to strive for that tells us this is where you're at. You are good enough or you're not good enough. And if you're not good enough today, that's okay. Work harder, get better, and you will eventually be good enough. We don't have standards. We don't know where we're at, right? So we have to set something up there to strive for that tells us this is where you're at. You are good enough or you're not good enough. And if you're not good enough today, that's okay. Work harder, get better, and you will eventually be good enough. We don't have.
So that's where I loved this clip as soon as I saw it. And this dude is so cool. He's such a motivational speaker. I want to say he is ex-Delta Force. He does a lot of other videos. But what I loved is that standard, right? What is your standard? And for the longest time, as some of you remember, I kind of struggled with reading books for enjoyment. And I started to look at skills. Like as I read the books, I was like, how do they do this? How do they create this? How do they flow into this and this? And so now I find books and I'm constantly like, this is the standard that I want my books to be like. I want my books to be as beautifully written as this, or as after I read it, I felt so impacted on such a great level that I want my books to feel like that for other readers. And so I push myself. And that's why I loved it when he said, if you're not hitting the standard, it's okay. Just keep working harder, because that's what we know as we develop our skills, whether it's working out, becoming a chef, becoming a musician, whatever it is, your skills are going to be hopefully continually developing along the way. And it's that friction and grinding that we're hopefully pushing against and working to overcome to get to the next level. And guess what? Once you get to level 8, guess what? There's a level 9 grind. And you are constantly trying to get better, but put your standard there of like, this is where I want to be. This is what I want to accomplish. I am not going to stop, right? I'm keeping my feet one in front of the other, and I'm going to keep moving. But this is where I want to be. And I am not there today. I am not going to be there tomorrow, but I will eventually get there. And it's okay if I fail, because I'm continually striving to get to that level. That's what I loved about that video. That's what I want to remind everyone about.
Don't listen to anyone. Everybody's full of shit. Nobody knows you or what you're capable of doing. And here's the reality. The hardest thing in life is figuring out who you are and what you want to do for the rest of your life. It's a big decision. And once you figure that out, you wake up every day and you work toward it. That's what you do. It's impossible for you to fail if you know who you are, what you want to do, and you wake up every day and work toward it. Don't listen to anyone. Everybody's full of shit. Nobody knows you or what you're capable of doing. And here's the reality. The hardest thing in life is figuring out who you are and what you want to do for the rest of your life. It's a big decision. And once you figure that out, you wake up every day and you work toward it. That's what you do. It's impossible for you to fail if you know who you are, what you want to do, and you wake up every day and work toward it. Don't let.
So for many of us in the chat, we're content creators, we're writers, we're authors. You wake up every day believing in what you're doing. And when I first wrote my very first book and I put it out, I had someone I respected, I looked up to. They were holding on to the book, and granted, this isn't my book, but they were holding on to the book and they're looking at it. Hey, TJ, was it worth it? I said, well, what do you mean? He's looking at, he's like, well, this was a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of effort you put into it, but was it worth it? You dedicate all this time. What if no one reads it? And I said, you know what? If the only goal was that one person reads the book and is motivated or encouraged to make a positive change in their life, then all the time was worth it. Because maybe I would have never been able to have met them in person, but if they found the book somehow, some way or whatever, they picked it up, they started to read it, and they were encouraged, then it was worth it. So don't give up on yourself. Know who you are, what you're doing, what you want to accomplish, and continue to strive towards it. But let's look if I can see and find where this video is at. Yep, there it is.
We really don't give ourselves enough credit. We work so hard to get to where we are, only to feel like we're not there yet. This is a vicious cycle that can make you chase the next moment instead of embracing how far you've come. Take credit for trying. Take credit for your progress. The little things matter. We always think that success means the final result, or a sudden leap from where you are to where you want to be. The baby steps, the small accomplishments, and the days when you want to give up can be difficult, but the fact that you try a little harder is what counts. This is a sign for you, a sign to not give up on yourself and a sign of hope. Give yourself credit. You are trying, and you are a work in progress. We really don't give ourselves enough credit. We work so hard to get to where we are, only to feel like we're not there yet. This is a vicious cycle that can make you chase the next moment instead of embracing how far you've come. Take credit for trying. Take credit for your progress. The little things matter. We always think that success means the final result, or a sudden leap from where you are to where you want to be. The baby steps, the small accomplishments, and the days when you want to give up can be difficult, but the fact that you try a little harder is what counts. This is a sign for you, a sign to not give up on yourself and a sign of hope. Give yourself credit. You are trying, and you are a work in progress. We really don't.
Boom. There you go. That's what it is. Pacing is hard when it comes to recording. I feel like I'm going way too fast or way too slow. And going back to listen, it's hard to tell. Man, I would just say maybe reach out to Steve Campbell, Neil, some of the other guys who are in the industry, in the genre, and just ask for their advice. How do you, learn how to analyze that better and develop it better? So that's a skill completely different from writing. So I don't know, but I have no doubt, dude, you're going to figure it out and you're going to crush it because you're doing some awesome stuff, man. My quirk is I don't have self-doubt. I pump myself up to succeed, and then when it actually happens, I don't know how to act. Like a dog who catches the car. I don't know, man. I don't know if I would be able to relate to the level that you have. I know for myself, kind of like that last video said, sometimes we just need to give ourselves credit. Sometimes we just need to appreciate every little moment that helped us get to this point. In tracking the word counts and celebrating those things, 12% of the world's population writes a book. And from there, it's like less than 3% that go on to write a second book. So we're already doing some things that are completely beside the normal. So yeah, don't give up, man. All right. So those are the thoughts that I have for the day. Those are the updates that I have. I'm trying to think if there's any. Oh, so this Friday or Thursday, I'm going to be with our good friend Kalen Wilkinson. He's going to be doing an interview with me, and he wants to talk about self-publishing, which I think is interesting. He wants to have me come on and speak for about 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And I'm like, dude, you're your own self-published author. Like, you could easily talk about this topic. But I'm honored because Kalen's been really fun. I'm really happy with the friendship that we've slowly grown over the last couple of months. So yeah, I'm going to be on his little podcast stream over there. And yeah, that's about really all that we've got going on. So for those of you who are still watching, hanging out with us, go ahead and throw some comments in the chat if there's something else you want to talk about, if there's something else you guys are working on or developing over time. But other than that, I'm excited. I mean, Wednesday, we have the book release coming out, the short story and book 3 of The Dying Breed. GRRM came up on Twitter this week, and the concept of postmodern fantasy was under fire. Can you talk grimdark and what you like about it, where it might fit in the Iron Age? Okay, so Miss Katie, I am halfway through your video that you were talking about. I think this is the same topic you're bringing up and you're talking about. So I have not finished your video. What I will say is I feel like you are on a whole different level than me when it comes to talking about some of these more deeper concepts. And yeah, I definitely, you sometimes intimidate me, Miss Katie, because you have a very huge comprehension and depth. And I'm like, ooh, I don't even know if I can stay in this conversation, because I will probably say something completely out of ignorance and it'll just be like a terrible landing. Oh, okay. I don't have to finish it. Well, I want to finish your stuff. I really love your opinion. I love what you guys are doing over there. That's why I love to support you guys. But I can at least give you, oh, Rob, dude, I am so glad you're here. We're supposed to show you the storyboard stuff. Dude, I can't believe I almost forgot that. Okay. So we're gonna answer Miss Katie first. Then we're going to go in and I'm going to show you guys, like when I talk about storyboarding, I will show you exactly the storyboard I did for The Dying Breed, Hunters. So if you have not read Hunters, you might want to just cut out on the video because it's going to be like behind the scenes. You'll see exactly how it was all put together. So it would be like a spoiler for you, but I will happily do that. So let's get into that here soon. Can't wait for the releases. Dude, thanks, Nick. On the previous, I used to be too caught up in the future to enjoy today. Been trying to change that point of view and live today while aiming in the future. 100%. 100%. No. Don't stop believing. I don't know. I'm confused, Katie. Let's just go back to your original question. Can you talk grimdark and what you like about it, where it might fit in the Iron Age? Yeah, we definitely need to share Miss Katie because she is amazing. So let's get Miss Katie's YouTube channel up here, and I'll put it in the show. There she is. We got to support our people, yo. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, don't have to be any kind of expert. You can't be wrong about your own preferences. Okay. Well, that's a very fair point. And so we just posted the link to Miss Katie's video, and it is really good, you guys. Like I said, I love what they're doing over there. So can you talk grimdark and what you like about it? Absolutely. I want to pull up the definition though, because I had another author reach out to me to said, hey, I think I'm writing grimdark. You seem to know a lot about it. Can you talk to me about it? Okay. We talked about it, and he was like, yep, I am definitely not writing grimdark. I was like, okay. So what I told this author, and I will be fully transparent with you guys because I love you guys. This is our community. I did not seek out to put this label title of grimdark on my work. The whole reason I started to use like grimdark within memes was because of one or two of the comments and feedback I got from readers. One of them being Richie Stevens, who we already talked about earlier, where he was like, dude, your stuff is just so brutal. It's so good and it's dark, but it's so brutal. And I had other people that commented within my books who are just kind of very much the same thing. It's brutal, it's dark, but it's good. And I love the action. I love the intensity and all these other things. And so when I just did a simple Bing or Google search, the first definition that came up for me was a genre of fiction, especially fantasy fiction, characterized by disturbing, violent, or bleak subject matter and a dystopian setting. Additionally, grimdark seemed to be very much tied to Warhammer universe, Warhammer 40K. Like that was the story content world universe that really kind of made the term grimdark prevalent, I guess you could say. For me, I another good friend of ours, JD Glasscock, basically said when he looks at grimdark, the definition and the view behind grimdark, he looks at it like this is a rated R movie. If you were to convert the book into a movie, it would easily be a rated R film. And that was where when he said that, and when I read that, I was like, yeah, that's exactly how I look at this. Every single one of my books is rated M for mature. And I've talked about it many times. I am not an adult. I'm not a parent. I don't have kids. So for me, I have written the books for a mature audience. If a parent gives it to their kid, it's not on me. I put the warnings out there. I put the labels on the covers, the back covers, whatever. But I write as realistically as possible for how I feel comfortable. And being in the military for almost 16 years, I was writing military books on special operations, special forces conducting missions in the war theaters, World War II history, all these other things. So combat and violence and all of these things were just like everyday reading for me. It didn't bother me at all. And so when I got into writing the fantasy series, The Dying Breed, TJ isn't an adult, 100%. I am a freaking man-child. Like I have used the term, I am a 13-year-old trapped in a 37-year-old's body, but I have an adult paycheck. Therefore, the LED colored lights that I normally have going on and everything else, like, yeah, honestly, at this point, I don't know why I don't have a room full of fucking Legos and army men. Like I am just a giant kid. My body is telling me that I am a senior citizen, but my mind and spirit are telling me I'm still 13. So when I write grimdark, the reason I have labeled it that is to try to narrow in on the reader base I feel would most appreciate my work. I've had people tell me my book is very much like Dungeons and Dragons, Lord of the Rings, The Witcher, Berserk, all thrown together. And then again, my lit RPG series that is currently being written is John Wick, Marvel Punisher, Deadpool humor with Sin City and Taken's vibes. So when I read the definition of grimdark on a general sense, characterized by disturbing, violent, or bleak subject matter, it is extremely dark. And that's where it's like, yo, not everyone lives. Not everyone has a happy ending. There are people who are going to sacrifice, and the warriorhood ethos is something that is very bleak in nature, right? In the Dying Breed series, you have this very young, naive, coming of age kid who wants to be a warrior. And as he goes on the journey, he's now like, why does that dude have substance abuse? Why does that dude have night terrors? Why does that dude come off with a chip on his shoulder and calling everyone a cunt? And this. Why is this? Because the average person doesn't realize the hardships of being a warrior, the sacrifices that is required of that, the hardships, the burdens. You know, everyone thinks, oh, being a warrior is so glorious and look at my shining armor. If your armor is shiny, dude, you haven't seen shit, right? And so why is grimdark so important is because it brings the harsh reality of the world around us and the fact of we need to appreciate the sacrifices that these characters and the burdens that they're carrying. In book 2, I normally write, when I sign it, it gets really dark, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Because when you read the back part of the book, the author's note, and you see why I wrote it, because I had to look eyes of a law enforcement detective who is carrying this massive burden of trying to stop a child pedophile. All while a vast or a good majority or a certain majority of the public were having riots in the streets saying defund the police. And yet this man had to go home and try to block out the horrendous things that he was experiencing at work and still be a father to his children. How can you capture that heavy burden through this lighthearted fantasy? You can't. And so for me, when I was writing these books, and the reason why I started to gravitate towards this grim, dark setting, I wanted these people who are like, dude, no, don't give me the fairy tale. Give me the fucking metallic blood taste in my mouth from being beaten down to a pulp. And yet for some reason, I still have the ounce of strength to climb back up, grab my sword and be like, fucker, I'm still not out of the fight yet. I'm not out of the fight until I'm dead. And then you have to find a way to decompress at the end of the story of like, how do I operate as a human again? How do I go into this next village where they scoff at me because I'm dirty and covered in blood, and these elite people look down upon me and yet have no idea that the reason I look this way is because I just saved them from the horde of monsters that were coming towards them. And so that's why I love the darkness of this subgenre labeling. Because to some of us, some people, when they have the harshness of reality latch into their lives, and sometimes they want justice. They want true justice. They want vengeance. That man hurt me. There wasn't enough evidence, and they're walking away, and they're going to go hurt someone else. And in this book, this guy known as Trevor Brinkworth, codenamed Bloodbath, goes and seeks the justice that I want outside the legal system where evidence and this is this. Some of us love to escape into that world, and that's where I find it as like, you know what? The doors are open. It's fair game. Hopefully I can convey it in a very genuine manner to where it's like bleak and dark and violent. And by the close of it, you're like, damn, that's exactly what I wanted. Was the right ending within such a cruel world. So that's kind of my take on it. These books would be a rated R film because I want that carnage and I want that grittiness to it. And then you have my third series, which I plan to be a teen young adult, where it could be given to almost any kid, any parent, anything else. And hopefully it's fun. And the only concern I have is sometimes readers may not be able to appreciate that differential, right? Oh my gosh. He wrote, Project General Motors. His Dying Breed series must be great. Whoa, how could you do this? You're such a, why would you do this? There are times where we forget that the material needs to be separate from the author as a person. And I've talked about this. I struggled to write Trevor's character at the beginning of the Bloodbath book. It took me until halfway through the book when I found the saving arc of the character development. And I was like, this is it. Now I can connect to him. Now I can connect to Trevor. And it was so much more fun and engaging. And so there are times where I've compared it to the music industry. There's artists who come out with an album and you're like, this is awesome. They come out with their second album and it's a totally different feel. And you're like, oh, how could I not? What is this? This isn't the music I love. Some people would look at that and write the artist off, the band off. Some people would be like, nope, this is still awesome. They have such an emotional connection that I'm going to continue on the journey. With authors and books, I feel like it's a lot harder for readers to remember this. This book series may not be for you. This book series may not be for you. This book series might be for you. Don't hold it against the author if it's the story you just don't connect with. And one of my good friends, Kevin Sinclair, a fellow lit RPG author, he writes very dark mattered books as well. And I was talking to him the other night, and he's got this. He's from the UK. I believe he is English, British. I'm not sure. So, Kevin, I'm sorry if I get it wrong. But he just has that European accent, which I love. And he messaged me, and so I'm hearing it in his voice. And I'll butcher it, but I'll try it. And he's like, TJ, do you know how many albums Taylor Swift has sold? Like, no, I don't really give a shit. I like some of her songs, but I don't listen to every single song. But no, I have no idea. 120 million albums she sold. Oh no, Britney Spears, that was it. Do you know how many albums Britney Spears has sold? 120 million albums. Do you know how many albums Slipknot has sold? No, I have no idea. 30 million. May not be as much as Britney Spears, but damn do I like me some Slipknot, and that's what I'll go for. May not sell a lot of books like some other author, books I do sold are exactly to the people they're intended for. Fuck yeah, dude. Because I love me some Britney Spears, some Taylor Swift, and some Slipknot, and I'll listen to all of them. But that's the same thing for me. I'm going to put out this heavy metal book series, and then I'm going to come out with an EP that's completely different, but it's still a part of me. It's still a part of my heart. And that's my approach to Grimdark. Whew. So he's an Aussie. Kevin is definitely English, Northern through and through. Okay. Brittany Soares grimdark novel then? Yes, exactly. That's exactly it. Hit me, baby, one more time. Oh, come on, you orc piece of shit. You can't hit me hard enough. Oh, come on. Hit me, baby, one more time. Yeah, that's exactly it. John, I feel like this is more of a calling for you. So therefore, take every single one of Britney Spears' hit songs and turn it into a battle scene within your book. There you go. Of course, Katie. Hopefully, you're able to get my thoughts and it made sense. I love your questions, though. You definitely catch me off guard sometimes, but that's my take on it. I try not to wrap my head too much around the philosophy of it. I like Michael Stackpole when I got to talk to him, and he said, TJ, never forget the biggest thing that you're called to do as an author is to write a good story that entertains people. I was like, okay. So that's what I try to do. Sometimes I fail at it, but I try to do it. All right. So we got Mr. Timo Burnham. What's up, bro? Great to see you, my dude. All right, so we are about to get into the storyboard. Miss Katie saying hello too. We're about to get into the storyboard of The Dying Breed. So this is a fully behind the scenes, full transparency. I just need to find it first because it's been a hot minute since I've looked at it. Is this it? This is it. Oh my gosh, so many memories, you guys. So many memories. Let me see. I'll show you this. So, revealing the secrets. Absolutely, my dude. I know. I got music playing in my head now. Now that we've been talking about it. Hey, Katie, and revealing the secrets. So, I will show you this first, you guys, because this is the map of Pentagon for the Dying Breed series. And I normally tell people zoom in 300%. So we're at 285. So this is where our young protagonist starts in. Oops. Thank you, my dude. Thank you. I wanted to start with this map so you guys see, like, when I go to the slideshow, why this is so important. But so he's in Artho. He comes down. He comes over to Kagrak's cave. They then go down to Fort Patton, actually Mortagolf, Fort Patton, Golgoth's cabin. They then come down to the Hunter's Shrine. They then come down into Jirakigo, the Realm's Keep, the Realm Keeps, Forest of Stonevor, and the Keep. Like, so they go on this journey. This is all, from Artho all the way, this is all book 1, right? Then, this is like book 2 right here. This right here is book 3. And then like all over here is book 4. And so what I try to tell people is like, I don't know how to put this in a book, a 5x8 book that people will be like, oh, okay. And so that's where for me, I was like, well, I guess I could just do this little snippet, but I want people to understand like, hey, this is literally how big the world is. And the other thing too is there's certain things I put in here like Caverns of Mace and other things hidden throughout this little map of like, bro, we can keep going bigger and bigger. Like, yeah. And so that's where cartography, anyways, that. This is why I give Lucas Clark, my development editor, so much love and respect, because he's the one that kept telling me bigger, more, fill it in. So yeah, like it's like, look at all these details. I love how much time, and I love the fact that he pushed me. So why do I show you guys this map? Because this is where it started. This was the first map of how it started. And this is all in PowerPoint, so we'll get there. But this was the original year, or the original map. This is all it was supposed to be. And then from there, as you guys can see, the Age of Survival, which started out, it was 1,127 years. Then we had 983 years of the Age of Discovery, 612 years of the Age of Expansion, then 1,783 years of the Age of Magic. And that's when the book happens, is right at year 896 in the Year of Magic. Then we have the Age of Machines, then the Age of Science, then the Age of Truth, and then the Age of Death. And why does that happen that way? Because once at the end of the Age of Death, whoever's surviving you start again at the age of survival, and the whole process repeats itself. So that was that. But anyways, storyboard. Why did I start out with PowerPoint? Here were some of the original names that I came up with. And then from there, so again, this is all spoilers for you guys if you haven't read The Dying Breed Hunters yet. Here was exactly all of the different characters and why I started out with PowerPoint. And so I would go in through Google and just search and find images of these awesome characters that I wanted. And I was, of course, like, what are the most badass things that I want, and how can I throw them in here? So I try to find everything fantasy related and throw it in. And so I was like, well, here's our main character, and he's connected to Kodgarak. Oh, what's up, JD? Dude, we're going into some spoiler stuff for The Dying Breed Hunters. I'm showing people how I do my storyboards. Well, Judah is the father of Liam. He's connected to Kodgarak, and he's also connected to Golgoth, and they're connected to Abek, and then all of these other people. So I started to make a link chart analysis. This is also what I did with when I hunted drug trafficking organizations, illegal criminals. So that was easy for me to be like, okay, let's just make this link chart, and you start to grow and understand how all of these characters are interconnected, how they all came to be within your head. So that was that. And then you have Google image search. Ian helps me a lot during the brainstorming phase. Yeah, dude, we're totally going to get there. Way more advanced. So these are all the villains then, right? So I have my, sorry. Here's another trick, you guys, I'll show you right now. So hold down the control key, go back on your mouse wheel, and scroll out as much as you want, right? Take a box, add it to the top. Take a box, add it all the way to the one side, take the other one to the opposite side, take that other box all the way down below. And here's the reason. When you come in, you can keep scrolling. And you can move around, and it's not going to jump on the different slides for you, right? And then you can just kind of come in like, oh yeah, where was the bad guys over here? Oh yeah, these are the bad guys. That's right. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to scroll down. So I have Set, I have Azazel, I have Marduk, I have Bast. Here's the actors that I kind of wanted to portray in my head, and here's their villainous side as the devils and the demons and what all they did. So that was how I continued to think of like, okay, well, here's some Gorgons. Here's this Lich King known as Trashik, and here's these dark, oh man, these dark centaurs, like dude, that's really cool. What could I do? So I would take all these images that I thought would be great antagonists and bad guys and monsters and creatures, and I threw them all on one slide. So I have all of my heroes on one side and slide, and then I have all of my villains on another slide. Why is that important? Well, if I capture all of this data at the very beginning, it's easy for me to just say, I need to go back to slide 3, and I just need to pull the image that I'm going to be using for my referencing while I'm writing. But there's Pepe Silva. He doesn't exist. Whatever. Only real ones will get that reference. Okay, so then, so I have my main characters, right? Who are my characters? What are they doing? Here's my antagonists. Here's what they are. Here's the map, and here's the time scale. And now let's start going into greater detail of what this world is going to be, where we're going to go. And so that's where it gives you references, so you can easily reference in your writing. Oh, yes, I am from the kingdom of Stupo, and it is interesting to be in the realm of Delco, where you see it's not illegal to bathe with pigs. Whatever you wanted to go with. The army of Summerpack has marched towards Lithram. But why is that important? It is vastly important because Summerpack and Lithram have been in alliance for 200 years. The fact that their army marches on them should be of great alarm to us. You can build the tension, you can build the conflict, you know where all these other factors are within your world. So each of these smaller areas has its own PowerPoint slide. And then, of course, here's Grensock, here's the Knoll Pack, the Canteen Valley, the Draconites, Hall, all of these key characters and components to the story, I have this rough idea where it's going. Time scale, is that the order of events considered in advance or history, or it's all mostly the history, and we'll get into here in a minute. So now here is exactly each chapter and how I broke it down. So what I would do simply is, here's Liam, our main character, chapter 1. He is going to be fighting some wraiths. He's on the scene of a cliff face. And so what I normally would do is, as I, zoomed in, I would keep this image of the cliff face right there. Whoopsies. So this is on my left screen. I'm writing on my center screen. So I'm constantly looking and like immersing myself into the scene, immersing myself into, okay, when I was rock climbing in the gym, what were the sensations and the feelings on my fingertips and the nerves and the tension of feeling my foot slip against the rock face and XYZ? Can I capture all of this? And man, those clouds are so beautiful. If he has this moment of reflection upon the beauty of where he's at. So this allows me to cliff face race, climbing the cliff face. The wraiths try to fill Liam with fear and doubt. High wind, cold rain almost causes him to fall off the cliff face multiple times. I've set the scene. And again, I did all of this months before I started writing. And granted, I would do it a little bit differently now because I wasn't as dedicated to the process, right? I spent 4 months just doing the storyboard, gathering all these images, having all these thoughts played out, the sticky notes all over the place, but they would all come into the storyboard. Now, I basically do, I write down on a notebook all these different things while I'm writing a different series. So when I have my 2 weeks break, I would literally come down and write all of these things in, prepare myself for 2 weeks, and then you just dive into the story. But you always have the storyboard there to guide you. So then chapter 2, again, so I planned out, okay, chapter 1, this is what's going to happen. Chapter 2, Liam meets Codgrak, informs Codgrak that Liam's father Judah has passed away. Liam finally realizing that his life is in need of fulfilling the greater purpose sought out, and has sought out Codgrak to learn from him in the way that his father Judah used to describe. Okay, from there, what's going to happen in chapter 3? Well, Mala's going to show, whoopsies, sorry, I didn't do the things here. Well, we have Codgrak, Hematite is going to be a key resource for him because it's going to be used in book 4. Well, okay, correction. Book 1, 2, 3, and 4 were originally supposed to be one book. But I already planned ahead knowing this item is going to be very critical for Codgrak later on. So I'm going to plant it here, and I know, but I'm going to reference it, make sure it's there. Then I have Mala coming into the scene. There's a magical portal. As Liam and Codgrak talk about the old wars that Codgrak and Liam's father Judah fought in, a dark orange portal appears in the cave with Mala appearing. Liam in fear draws a sword. Codgrak asks Liam why he's afraid. His sword is shaking in his hand. He tells him to put his sword away, but Liam hesitates in fear. Mala snaps his fingers and Liam's sword falls to dust. Liam responds that it was the color of the portal, which he felt was the color of evil and hatred. Mala chuckles. I'm sorry, son of man. Would you prefer that it was blue, green? The portal changes colors before his eyes until it vanishes. Mala tells Codgrak about the kingdom requesting help and that they should leave soon, for the dying breed will venture into the kingdom soon. So again, like, it doesn't make sense. It's run-on sentences. It's just a word vomit of the words and ideas and what I need to convey. So, oh, and again, so we're at the cliff face, but now the scene is within the cave and a campfire. Whoopsies. You guys really can't see that all that well. So this was the scene that I had. So I continued to put it all in there. And that's where every single chapter. So now we transition. Chapter 4 is going to be a completely different scene, completely different characters. And so the reason why these images are so important, I found when writing, is it gives you so much motivation of like, yes, this is exactly like, oh, think about this. The conflict, the tension, the drama, the suspense. Oh man, and you really get into that immersion that helps you convey the story. And so that's where for months, those months that I started, it allowed me to really think about each and every chapter. Is this flowing in the way that I want it to? The pacing can be a little different and you can adjust that, but overall, what is so important about each chapter? And so with this one, chapter 6, Vow, this was one of my most favorite chapters to write about, because it was a life lesson. We had this character, Lord Lele, that came in and tried to seduce Liam and take him away. And it was this huge mentor to mentee moment with Kodgarak. And, we found this dude getting beaten at the end of the chapter. And this life lesson that was conveyed. So that's where, okay, here's chapter 4, 5, 6. Here's chapter 7, 8, 9. So then Liam leaves his father's sword behind at the fort. Why would you not take your father's sword with you? It is time I step away from my father's destiny and begin my own. As I went through the storyboard, I would realize, oh, there's plot holes, or this doesn't make sense, or this is really important overall. Don't forget this. So I would put an orange box or a yellow box in there and allow myself to just do this. Jim Keats, behind the scenes glimpse, and another book on my to read list. Dude, thank you, man. I appreciate that. This is great, TJ. How would you do it differently now? Can't wait to answer this later. Thank you. Okay. Be right back. My tweet is popping off and I need to put shill tweet under it. Got you. Very expensive. Well, it's actually not, JD, and I'll actually show you how you can do all of this for free if you have a Windows computer. If you have a Mac, you can also do it for free. It's just a little bit different. But so this is all. So again, like Master DC, she was based off of a real person. This was my real drill sergeant at basic training. Here's basic training here. This key item, this Memetasol item is going to be really critical to the whole story concept. So, you continue to build the storyboard. The mind doesn't forget what thy eyes have seen. That quote was so important to me. And I wanted to make sure as I was, letting my brain unravel all of this different world building, this is exactly what I want emphasized. This entire chapter is based around this core principle. The mind doesn't forget what thy eyes have seen, because it builds up to what is going to happen now in book 2, right? The things that he is going to experience in book 2 technically ties into this, because Golgoth is the character that you think you question, is this guy really good? So this is how, what? With great power comes great responsibility? No. What's that supposed to be? Some superhero catchphrase or something? Sheepishly looking back. Always be sure your words and your actions are in the same stride. It allows you to have those emphasizing moments. This is also where, cool, I have free space to create. So let's say I wanted to create runes. Well, I could easily do this with the line tool. So I'm just going to do it black. I'm going to do a 6 weight. Actually, I did this for book 2. And actually, it's also in book 3. So let's go here. And let's actually match these up. This is just literally a copy and paste. So as I create it, copy and paste it. So then I can, literally just create this as I can save this alone as an image, send it to my typesetter and be like, hey, Vanessa, this is the rune that they see in this page, in this chapter, boom, boom, boom. Here's where I want it. And you can do this as well to keep bringing that immersionary level into the book. So we have a crest. Here's, these were literally just made. If you go into the shapes like that, so let's see here. I'm trying to look specifically for the shape I need. Oh, here it is. So we create this shape, right? Nope, that's not the one I need. Where is it? This is going to drive me nuts because I really want to show. You know what? Let's just make our own new crest. How about that? We'll just make a whole new crest for you guys. So we'll say this is our crest, and we can even do a 3D bevel on it. So shape effects, 3D rotation. We'll go in, we'll do gradients. Oh, why didn't it do it? Did it just freeze on me? Oh, are you guys still there? Yo. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I literally had to do a complete restart of the system. So, Rob, can you guys hear me okay? Okay. Yo, I am sorry, guys. Like, literally, I was building. Let me know Windows Office can be a serious memory hog. Rune smithing. Okay, yeah. So that literally, Jake, that was the first time that's happened to me. That we had a complete like crash. But let's just jump right back into it. Yep, that one, boom. Okay. So and yeah, it's going to be a memory hog for you guys. Because with the more images you put in, obviously that's really going to impact your storyboarding overall. But yeah, so that's where chapter 13, 14, 15. Okay. Yep. This is where I'm going in. These are all the different things that I want to do. And then the other big thing is, okay, if I need to break down my magic system, well, we have celestial, we have magic, we have soul, we have spirit, we have body. These are the 5 different planes of existence within the world. You can do all of these things and you can have all of these breakout sessions. So that's where, as I started to develop this, okay, here's all these different chapters. Wait a minute. Here's exactly how this breaks down. Here's how you would see it, if you could see it. And then you can jump right back in. Chapter 19, chapter 20. There's Crow, one of my favorite characters. So, I mean, you literally can pump in. Again, here's the yellow box of how I made sure to incorporate special things that I always drew my attention to. So, chapter 22. And again, zoom out, you can see all of the different elements that I added in. And then boom, this was literally the break. This is where I decided, here's the break. Here's where we're going to start. So this is actually the start of book 2. And you can see, like, here's all the original character images that I used to keep myself thinking about the characters. And as you guys can see, I continued to go in and build more and more and more. So I storyboarded very far into the future. And that's when I had not completed the storyboard, when I was challenged of, dude, you need to finish, you need to start writing. You have plenty, just start putting words on paper. So I was able to use the storyboard to continue to just push ahead. And now, as I'm 60,000 words into book 4, I am now writing past where the storyboard was completed, or where the storyboard ended. So the storyboard helped me to build the foundational work and give me that guiding vector towards the future. All the while, book 4, we're at 60,000 words. Well, what does that mean? That means book 1, 2, and 3, 300, 400,000 words allowed my brain to keep thinking and asking itself more questions. Well, how did this work? How would this work? Where would this come into play in this point? And so this is a storyboard for book 1. I actually started to create a storyboard for book 2, a storyboard for book 3. It's all their own PowerPoint presentations. And it's one of those things where it allowed me to just keep one open. So I kind of have that master file of everything, but then I have each individual book's storyboard. I would say I would still use this format in the vast majority, because that's what I've done with the Bloodbath series as well. I've just done it a little bit different variation. One of the other things that I would say now is, instead of like how I have the one PowerPoint slide and I just kind of plaster everything, literally just use one slide per chapter if you need to. That's one way to do it, because then you can actually make all of these bigger, right? And you can just have these as your guiding points. You can do it this way. That's not a problem. So what JD Glasscock was saying earlier is, wow, that's really expensive. You can do this free. And I'll show you right now. If you have Google, if you have a Windows PC. Was it difficult to stick with the storyboard? Did you find yourself writing away from it? Yes, but it wasn't a bad thing. What it allowed me to do was, we've talked about how, well, I just start writing and I had this idea and then my character took over and it took me to this different place. Sure, you could do that. That's not a problem, but you know where you need to go. How you get there can obviously change. And I will show you exactly that, if I can find it. Maybe it's not here. Nope, it's not in this version. So I had a very specific scene set up. It's Miss Katie. Hello, my darling. We're actually going behind the scenes, spoiler, showing my storyboard for my very first book that I wrote. So that's what we're doing right now. But to get back to Rob's question, I had it planned that they were actually to go onto an island. Oh, see, here's the storyboard for book 3 of Bloodbath. So don't want to give you guys spoilers, but this is literally some of each box represents a person or an entity. Okay. So this is literally part of the storyboard for book 3. And this is why it is really hard sometimes with how much stuff goes into it. But this is why I love using PowerPoint, because it allows to group, to expand, to link chart. It is literally a visual tool that is so vastly underused. It's just, you know, do you have the ability to use it the way it is? So I will easily show you. Let's go into, actually here. Yeah, this is perfect. So most people in PowerPoint would literally just use a text box. You know, they come up here, oh, text box, and oh my goodness, I'm just so happy I have my text box. That's fucking dumb to me. I don't like it. But if you just take a shape, okay, cool. So there's that, you know what? And then let's go ahead and we'll say it's, you know, we'll just go with Katie because she's in here. That's the wife. Sorry, Katie, we're just killing you off. And then, you know, they had a son, JD Gagnon. He was football linebacker, drug dealer. Yeah, and you know, and we'll just call it good. So, okay, so then we just, you know, hold down Control, left click, right click, format object, fill. You can do a gradient if you want. No, let's not do a gradient. That's what crashed the computer last time. Boom. Okay, cool. There's my bad guys. And you know what? Let's go with Nick. Nick Featherlight. He is the evil bad man, second in charge. Likes shotguns. Oopsies. So we'll put him as orange, and we'll put him over here. You can then insert your line, which if you just go from point to point. So here's the other key thing. If you get the green dots, like you want it to do a green dot if you're doing a link chart really well, because what that'll do, and let's do a 10. So when I grab this box, it's going to keep it connected that way. You have to have it on the points though, right? So what this also allows you to do is if you bring it over here, you can then MC sees them at a gas station. You just put it in the middle, and that's how you know that they're connected, right? So that is how, when you do it in a box, it allows you to quickly color, keep it there formatted, and move it around a lot easier than just a standard text box. That's why I like using the shapes. It's very easy. Here's the other thing. Now, this is going to be a little bit different than what I was talking about with JD. If you have the version of PowerPoint that's more new, oh man, you guys can't see it. Hold on. There we go. Right up here is in the Insert tab, icons. This is going to make it super easy for you guys as well. So let's go with home. Okay. Doghouse. Okay, here we go. We have an apartment building. We've got a home. with windows, and then we could do another home, and then so okay, let's go ahead and put these icons in. Here we go. We got our icons. Okay, someone else in the chat, go ahead and give me something else, just some random item while I do this. So I'll do building. Okay, here's a farmhouse. Here's a government structure. Here's another cool looking thing. Here's an industrial complex. Come on, guys. Give me something here. Someone type in the chat. Give me something. Okay, building. Scrivener, we must silence this man. Final draft. Yes, he gives away the keys to the kingdom. Yes, I'm showing you guys how you can literally do all of this for free 99. Well, yeah, I mean, or with Microsoft PowerPoint. And people just think, oh, we're going to get all the masses to do this. Like, no, you literally have the tools available to you for free, and I'll show you how you can do this a little bit more simple, but with underground system. Perfect. Ruins. Love it. Okay, Rob. So let's go with underground. All right, subway. Boom. Subway train. Okay. Okay, so Marion County Court. Thomas Feshnor's farm. Body is found there. Okay. Then we have Oregon University of Oregon, because go Ducks. And you have Victim's House, 333 Division Court Lane, Salem, Oregon. This is not a real address, so don't worry, you guys. Okay, so there's the victim's house. Well, that's important. We want to make sure we have the address so we could tie that in of like the little details. Unit 332, be advised, we have a call coming in of a deceased body found at 333 Division Court Lane, Salem. You can do all of these things. So that's where, the underground system, like Rob said, okay, so I have an abandoned underground subway system. That is where the gun is found. Right? So now I just click on both, right click, group together, boom. These are going to stay together. And guess what? Oops. These are going to stay together when I select them that way. But if I really need to, I can still come in, make my changes. I can change my fill. Whoopsies. Nope. There we go. I can change my fill to blue. Then I can continue to do it all. So that way it allows you to remember, hey, where did I put that spinning plate at? I need to come back. Katie, thanks for coming in. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. This is awesome. I miss you. Hope you're doing good things, and I keep being awesome, my dear. So yeah, so it allows you to build and add these spinning plate details so that hey, it doesn't make sense if in chapter 4 he goes to the subway system because we need to find the victim's body first and this. You can get super creative in so easy of a format. So the other thing I will say, you know what? Let's just make a new one for this. So new blank presentation. Don't save. Don't save. Okay. So new blank presentation, right? We will just go ahead and open up. Okay. So Rob was kind of going with this underground feel. I like that. So let's, Yahoo Images is really good, but we'll just keep it with Google because everyone knows that. So let's go with cyberpunk character with weapon. Images. Ah, this dude looks cool. Nope, that looks retarded. That looks dumb. Ooh, okay. Ooh, oh, that's definitely AI generated. But ooh, I like that. Okay, so on a Windows computer, you're going to go to Snipping Tool, click New, just like that. Paste. It's that simple, you guys. And here's the other thing. If you do have the Microsoft Suite and you have Microsoft Note, you can put all of these into notes, all of these into different books, and you can just continue to fill it. But the PowerPoint is super easy. So how would you do it for free if you cannot afford Microsoft? Well, that's when you're going to go back to your Google Drive. I've got to think. Hold on. Let me make sure that I don't have anything critical on here for you guys to see. Okay, yeah. So all right, so bring it back for you guys. So I open up my Google Drive for one of my accounts. So if this is, and basically all I did was, obviously you can see my drive and then testing. So I just made a folder into the my drive. So this is that. New slides. And you literally have the same thing almost for the exact same part. So that's where, okay, yeah, got it. I can collaborate. They do have shapes, soups. So you can have different shapes, different arrows, call outs if you need to, the education side, tables, charts, diagrams. Oof. So a timeline. I don't know if I would use that all the way, but the biggest thing too, there's my cybernetic guy who's going to be in the underground subway system that Rob's character is going to go and link up with and like, hey, you're investigating that murder over on Division Street. It's a fucked up situation. What happened? What exactly are you looking for? Hey, man, you got any idea of where the murder weapon might be? Actually, I do. Come on down with me. And there you go. You can literally make your own storyboards digitally. You can keep it in your Google Cloud if you need to. There's so many tools available for you for free that you don't need some of these other products. So that's how I do my storyboards. I throw it into a Microsoft PowerPoint. I put all the images I want, and I always keep that up on the screen for the most part when I am writing. You're audible from here? Yeah. So there's that. Now, one of the things that that Rob asked earlier, how would I do it differently? Let's go into a Google Sheet. So what would I do differently? Characters. Items. Oops, I still have Katie on the screen. Oh, that's how much I love her. She's so cool. Made her at 20 bucks to 50K. Items. Weapons. Monsters. Chapters. Chapter 1, we're going to have Rob. We're going to have John. We're going to have TJ. We're going to have Bowls. We're going to have M4 carbines, because why not? We're going to have Apache helicopters. Doesn't matter. And what else are we going to do? Oh, we're going to have rubber ducky energy drinks, whiskey, acid cigars. Okay, so we can do that. Chapter 2. And you just start entering in the data. What? White phosphorus? Hell yeah, baby. So why would I do this? In building the World Bible, depending on the complexity of the story, which my third series is, it's going to be extremely complex in data. So I need to know, okay, Rob Gagnon, black hair, long to jawline, brown eyes, black jackets, very outgoing, calm, but motivational. I now break down all of the characteristics of the character. How tall are they? Well, he's going to be 6'1". He is 212 pounds, roughly. You don't have to be specific, but you have to be specific enough to when you're going into the other chapters, it allows you to break down and know exactly, hey, in the one chapter, I said he was roughly 6'1", and this. But now I'm saying this. In Lit RPG, if you're building a character, that detail could be extremely specific and a hard line that you can't cross. If you're more fantasy or you're not necessarily focusing on some of those characteristics, you can play with it a little bit more of like, as I turned the corner, I met him and his gaze bared down upon me. He stood taller than a grizzly bear on its hind legs, blah, blah, blah. And so it allows you, as you're writing then, hey, I need to go back into my World Bible. How did I describe him back in, if I'm looking at the chapters, okay, yep, I talked about Rob in chapter 1. And so the more you can build the World Bible, the easier it'll be for you to categorize all these different changes and elaborate that. So you can also do different things of, you can insert photos into your Excel. You could make your storyboard technically in Excel or in Google Sheets. The problem is that I like having the flexibility of using the link chart, moving things around the screen, and just openly changing, moving in and out of the depth of field and perspective. So that's why I do that. But this would be the other biggest thing that I would say is probably really critical if you're planning to do a very long series with a lot of depth, a lot of detail. And that's one of the things I've changed. So yeah. That's that. Yes, I believe you can. I just don't do it. And like you said earlier, like Scrivener and Final Draft and all these guys, oh my God, we have all these tools and it's really great. Microsoft Office Suite has all of these tools already. We do not spend enough time becoming proficient in understanding how these programs have the power and capability to do all of this for us. And yes, you should be able to do it in Excel. And that's also why I like Microsoft OneNote, which, let me see if I have OneNote. Yep, I do. What the hell is this? Oh, this was back in stock investing. Okay, so, that's why I love Note, is because you can insert tables, attachments, spreadsheets, pictures. Should be able to do this. Yep. So you can do all of that in OneNote as well. And in fact, like I was kind of saying, if you wanted to, So you can keep pouring in and even writing your chapter within a Microsoft OneNote, and you can carry it on from there. You can link it. You can do all these other things. So, you know, there's so many different ways to do this process. Yeah, dude. The Bloodbath series is huge in the universe. And that's where it was a lot. Like, it was a lot. I didn't really take enough time to really plan it out, but I just dove for it. And if it comes out cool, it comes out cool. So I think the biggest thing is people put the cart before the horse and thinking, I need to do all of this. Whereas reality, I would just start with getting a routine down first, which means, do I need to wake up at 5 a.m. every day? Do I need to step out into the office area at night at 5 p.m.? And okay, for January to March 1st at 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., I will be in the office. I will be working on the storyboard. And it's done when it's done, right? When it comes to March 1st to March, April, May, from March 1st to June 1st, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., I'm in the office typing. I'm building the routine. That's where my biggest thing is, like, build a routine where you are dedicating the time effort in this goal. Mm-hmm. 100%, man. Because here's the thing, dude. You could go spend $1,000, $2,000 on the latest, greatest product, but if you don't have the skills or the determination or the will to get in there and actually do the fucking job, you're not going to do it, right? The job. Sure, you know, you could use I guess you could use AI to write your books. I know there's a few authors in the space who are I don't want to accuse them of doing it, but some of their statements, I'm like, ooh, that does not sound very positive light on shed a positive light on you. So, but I'm all about doing it as best as possible with the skill sets of writing. It's going to mean more in the end. So, yeah. But all right, you guys, those are the tools that I use when building my worlds, building my books. Like almost any other author, there's like 5 notebooks all scattered around. There's one actually underneath my driver's seat. Now that I think about it, I need to go pull it out of my car so it doesn't get stolen. Knock on wood, please, for the love of God, don't let that happen, because that's a lot of work flushed down the drain. Yeah, and it's your own voice being heard. That's why I don't like the AI tools are out there. We didn't put the constraints in place. People did not take AI seriously enough. They thought it was just a sci-fi fantasy thing, and now it's overwhelmed the world. And in reality, in the next 5 years, bro, I feel so bad for a lot of people. They're just going to be worked out of a job. It's insane. But with that being said, where was I getting with my original point? Oh yeah, so I always have the notebooks scattered around. I have got the 2 whiteboards back there where sometimes you just need to jot down the thought and you just write it down, you jot it down. I would say never just keep an idea in your head, because you will forget it, and you'll kick yourself later for not doing it. But you have the notebooks, you have all this, but dedicate the time in your routine, build the world, build the storyboard, and go from there. Your characters will deviate around and you'll change certain aspects of your story. But here's the thing, you still have the guiding line. So you still know where you need to get back to the end state. Yep, make a plan, stick to it, use the same tools, nothing fancy, consistency. Fucking A, Rob, that's exactly it. That's it. That's the answer right there. It's that simple. There's no secret to the success. And yes, surround yourself with others doing the same, because we all have started there. We all know what it's like. So that's it. Dude, an hour and 55 minutes. Holy cannoli. Craziness. Thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. Yeah, it's been great. It's been great times. I do need to get going though, but this is why I love the weekend updates. It is so special to me. Be sure to tune in, you guys. We have got Daniel Pronk, The Fundamentals of Investing, How to Grow Your Wealth in the Stock Market. A dude I am so proud of. I have been waiting for this book for 2 years because he dedicated himself. He made the plan. He stuck to it. He used the same tools, which was nothing fancy, and he stayed consistent. 250 words a day. His book is finally here, and we are going to do an interview with him tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific time. So please come in, hang out, and we're going to have a good time. So you guys are awesome. Love you so much. Thanks again to the Dying Breed community, Warrior Bernard, Fighters Maxwell Foster Q, Soldiers Boslow, Little Panda, Unwired, and of course Defenders LG, Jodan, and Masifa. We hope you guys have a great weekend, great week. Keep plugging away on those words. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, I don't believe in destiny. I just do what's best for me. Don't listen to my enemies. They're just full of jealousy. Yeah, this legacy, you gon' see what's left of me. You gon' see success in me. You ain't seen the rest of me. I just wanna be the best at what I know. Better than the rest, just watch me grow. Put me to the test and watch me go. This is my quest, I'ma make it known. They call me obsessive, oh I know. Call me selective with my notes. Call me aggressive with my flow. Call me offensive even though
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, life's tough. Try to get by, life's rough. Try to do it right, it's not enough. Even though you try, you still mess up. But I'm still gonna fight for what I love. Still gonna die for what I love. Still gonna try, I won't give up. Still gonna fight until I've won. They say I'm way too obsessed and I've got nothing left. And I'm not quite there yet, but those words they'll regret. Cause I've got something left and I'm not giving in. I will not let them win. I won't stop till the end, no.
some injuries, mentally and physically. Studied them religiously so I don't repeat history. And people won't admit to me they don't want a victory. Bad enough to get a C, they'd rather just go leave it be. And oh, this journey I've been on since 13, working hard and learning, never stopping searching. Yeah, it's burning, all this passion hurts me. I took action working, writing down these words.
No, I'm not okay, I just wanna be something. I don't wanna be nothing, living all alone. No, I'm not alright, I'm just barely getting by. But I'll tell you I'm just fine, so you leave me alone. They say I'm way too obsessed and I've got nothing left. And I'm not quite there yet, but those words they'll regret. Cause I've got something left and I'm not giving in. I will not let them win, I won't stop till the end, no.